You've been asking for it, you've been waiting for it, and there it is. The 2026 Honda Prelude has finally been revealed to the public. Hooray! I'm gonna wait for the applause to die down a little bit. Hi everybody, my name is Eddie, and today on Talk Daily we're gonna be discussing the Honda Prelude. What's going on with the Honda Prelude? So before I get further, I'll let you know where I'm getting my information from. An article written by Jack Fitzgerald, published September 5th of 2025. And it's from Car and Driver. And also, I'm going to be quoting Honda themselves discussing the release of such a beautiful, majestic machine. If I can get... there it is. So before we go further, let's talk a little about what Honda discusses this thing, saying this 2026 Prelude is sporty icon reimagined. The iconic Honda Prelude returned this fall, imagined as a hybrid that is expertly balanced. I'm sorry, if I'm laughing, it's okay. Anyways, expertly balanced, a smooth ride and efficiency with an impressive 46 to 41 mpg rating. That should tells you everything right there. It's amazing on the mpg. So is this a fully focused sport car? Let's keep reading, saying this new sport coupe leverages high performance chassis hardware of the legendary Civic Type R while debuting the innovative Honda S Plus shift system, which simulate a dual clutch transmission-like experience for enhanced driver engagement. Inside, the Prelude boasts a driver-focused cabin featuring ultra-premium front sport seat with self-touch leather. And every details is crafted to deliver an immersive and exhilarating driving experience. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Honda interior is fantastic. The fact this thing is a two-door is a plus. It's a hatch plus. It has a hybrid system. To be honest with you, I think that's also a plus. Hybrid system could work both ways, and look at the MPG, and also could be a performance. Now, is that what we're gonna get out of this one? I'm not too sure. Now, this is released September 4th of 2025, Torrance, California. Hoo-hoo, Torrance, yay. That's my neck of the woods. Now, saying that new Prelude inspired a fun to drive performance, legendary innovation, dynamic styling. This is the press release. You can go ahead and read it. It's a lot of writing. It's a lot of reading, a lot of letters. So, anyway, so what are we getting? We're getting the Shift Plus system. They're very proud of this, okay? The Shift Plus, basically, it is like a CVT. Long story short, you're getting 19-inch wheels with 235/40/19 tires. You know, that beefy. One thing I really liked was the brakes. You're getting a Brembo 4-piston aluminum caliper shared with Civic Type R, and the finishing Prelude blue, and you're getting me in the front. It's like, hello, okay, all right, nice. And they don't mention the rear, but there might be front and rear. From the picture that I saw the front. They're massive. You're getting adaptive dampeners. You're getting 4 driving mode: Comfort, GT, Sport, and Individual. You get leather wrapped flat bottom steering wheel with alloy shift pedals. The steering wheel's not a full circle; it's flat on the bottom. Yeah, cool. It basically is just for styling. 2+2 seating with 60/40 split fold down rear seat. That's very useful. Wireless Apple CarPlay. You're getting Wi-Fi hotspot capability. 8-speaker Bose system. Honda sensing. Post collision braking. Blind spot infotainment. So basically, the car comes loaded. It should be a lot of fun. The horsepower is 200. I don't want to mention that here, but basically getting 200. But, you know, if you go down on the article, and there we go, we're looking at the engine. Atkinson inline 4-cylinder, pretty much a 2.0, but almost to 1. They do that, like, so the taxation is not. I remember that, like, back in the day, they did that where, like, there's a taxation bracket for a 2.0. So if you're below 2.0, you get, that's why they do the 1.993. Like SR20 was like that. A bunch of older engines were like this. But anyway, that's a side note. Let's keep going. Saying the 4 horsepower is 141 at 6,000 RPM. The torque is 134 at 4,500 RPM. And your red line is 6,250. The valve train, 16 valve, dual overhead cam. So if you're looking at this and you think to yourself, that does not sound like a Honda. 6,200, that sounds like a lazy V8. Well, to be honest with you, yeah, I can't really defend all this stuff, but it is what it is. 2-motor hybrid system, so total output power is 200 because you have AC, synchronous permanent magnet electric drive motor, and they're producing 181 horsepower at 5,000 to 6,000 RPM, and your torque is 232 at 0 to 2,000 RPM. And your drive terrain is going to be front wheel drive, direct drive unit, with S-shift metal paddle shifters. It's yeah, again, it mimics like a sequential, but it's not a sequential. It's just kind of a, it's all about feel, I believe. That's the purpose of it, which is cool, I guess. Ratio range, electric motor, and you can go ahead and read all this. But the fuel that I mentioned, that fuel tank is 10.6, which is, well, that's it. That's pretty small. I think they're really relying that you have the electric so you get the extended range. But required fuel, regular unleaded. And then we already talked about the driving mode, the steering ratio 11.3. Of course, the steering, I'm pretty sure it's going to be electric. Multi-link rear suspension, that's awesome. Dual axle front suspension, that's fantastic. You'd have the dampener. The suspension sounds all great. I would like to know the weight, but I haven't mentioned the weight. The power assisted ventilated front and disc brake, yes, front and rear. That's huge. The brake 13.8. This thing has overkill brakes, if that could be a thing. Electric servo brake, yes, Brembo. 4% aluminum front brake caliper, yeah, just in the front, not the rear. The wheels, 19 by 8.5. And the tires, all season, 235, 40, 19, as I mentioned before. And let's see what else we're going to have. The wheelbase is 102.6. There's a lot of data you can nerd out on it. Curb weight, that haven't mentioned it. Weight distribution have not been mentioned. I'm going to assume it's probably going to be a little more nose heavy than rear heavy, but I'm just guessing. Now, this is foam car and driver, because I found this to be kind of interesting about the Prelude. So let's kind of ruined it. Let's get this article somewhat in the picture. Here we go. Okay, so this article, before I go any further, this article written by Jack Fitzgerald, published September 25th of 2025 from Car and Driver. There's always a link I'm going to show you in the description below. Having said that, got out of the way. That should tell you everything you need to know about the Honda Prelude. They're comparing it to a Prius. So now comes down my opinion of the thing. First is a positive. A lot of people are going to be bashing it because it's honestly not really a sport car. It has none by any stretch of imagination. It's just sporty. But I'm just really happy that Honda's making a two-door hatch. That's a step in the right direction. Now, as far as being front-wheel drive, Honda, I mean, the Prelude was on front-wheel drive. I remember the Prelude, and I'm not a big fan of them. The H22 engine. I mean, it was sort of like the old Prelude. I had an older Prelude with a four-wheel steering, the old one, like the 1989. I love those. I think those were fantastic. But the later on Prelude in the 2000, like the 90s, not really a big fan of them, to be honest with you. All they did is on the steer. I like the engine. I want to take that engine and put it in the Civic. That was pretty much what we wanted to do with that engine. As far as driving it, not really a big fan. They look clean, but most people did. That's back in the day. They did they're trying to make them look like Skyline. That's a different story. But yeah, it's a step in the right direction. Honda's doing that. The two-door, that's fantastic. I'm happy for them. As far as the engine with the electric, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the electric motor could always help with the gasoline engine in the torque area. You know, when you're running out of power and you need that extra oomph, electric engine steps in. Of course, for emission 2, and you have a 2.0 liter engine. It's not like a 1.5, so that's a good engine. I wonder if you can do anything to it. But it's naturally aspirated. It's not turbocharged, unfortunately. If it was turbocharged and electric, that'll be fantastic. But that's not where we are now. Maybe that's downline in the future. Anyway, from the article saying being a front-wheel drive, a two-door car, the new 2026 Honda Prelude doesn't have any direct competition. And they're saying maybe Toyota Prius is one because of the price, $41,000. It's a lot of money. So we haven't discussed the price, $41,000. That's a good chunk of change, and that's way more than a Prius fully loaded. And so that's why this argument, it just basically, you go ahead and read it. It's kind of interesting to read, but I don't really kind of agree with that. But yeah, the Prelude is going to be definitely economic driving. Now, I don't know the weight, but the range of this vehicle, I still don't know. But I'm going to assume it's somewhere in the 40. You can probably 40 miles to the gallon, somewhere around there. So it's, again, is a sporty car? No, not at all. So yeah, I think I don't know. I think Honda should really just cut to the BS and go ahead and make the S2000, go ahead and make a two-door, CTR, and go ahead and make an all-wheel drive, introduce an all-wheel drive car that utilizes Honda's all-wheel drive technology. But that's me talking. Let's see, speaking of talking, let's see what people say in the comments below, which I'm interested in reading. This is by Nikita, and this is not that not too long ago, saying this would be so much fun if Honda had developed a rear-wheel drive base S2000. And of course, that's a tough business case. I don't know why it would be a tough business case. In my opinion, the Prius, along with a Crown Signia, is one of the nicest looking Toyotas in a long time, with the body details. Toyota? Okay, what are we talking about Toyotas? Anyways, but all right, cool. I get your point, man. The S2000 would sell. No way the S2000 would not sell, and that's something I think Honda has in their pocket. But I think it's a lot to do with as far as emission and federal regulation. With the current administration right now under Trump, there's a release. I don't say release. There's a let go mentality where go ahead and continue developing internal combustion engine. And before they were like, oh, everybody's gonna have batteries and polar bears and all that stuff. Now we're more of a go ahead, you can develop it. So I think car manufacturers, every 4 years you get a new administration, they might change the rules. So understandably so, I think that Prelude was in production way before even Trump was a president, and then they're basically, we're making it where it's going to meet a mission and foreseeable emission. I don't think they saw that the emission might change. I don't know. It's politics in that point, but you have to understand what engineering is standing at. You want to make something that it's not just passes regulation at the year that you made it. You have to make it where the continue to pass at least for the foreseeable future, where the life cycle of the car will give you profit, right? R&D costs a lot of money. So, but the S2000 to me is something where go ahead and make it. People will buy it. There is no two-door option out there. It's really, what's your option? A Miata? What is it? The Burrs and the Furs and the Miata. And then you jump to the Z, then you jump to the Supra, and then you go to the M2, and it's kind of the gap gets bigger and bigger, right? As far as price, this is a really nice spot. 40,000, it's sweet. SOH saying, ouch, being compared to the Prius should be a wake-up call to Honda. That's exactly what I said. Also 40,000 starting, I guess it's not all that bad. Come on, Honda. GR86 is 30, 35 fully loaded. Yeah, what would it have killed you to hit at that price? Again, I think Honda interiors are fantastic. This is, I with all due respect to SOH, I think it's, yeah, no. Have you sat inside of a GUR 86? No. And a Honda's interior is always by far better. And that Honda, what they're giving you electric and gasoline, where the GR is just, it's your same technology you get from the 90s, and there's nothing wrong with it. I like it, but the Honda gives you way more technology. If you're looking at technology, what you're getting for 41, you're getting a lot. You're getting electric, you're getting internal combustion engine, you're getting good MPG, you're getting clean interior, you're getting a new transmission, whether you like it or not. It's a new transmission. Go ahead and play with it, but I'm not a big fan of fake transmission. I would honestly just want it to be the most precise, quick transmission, and that's all I care about, which I think that would be, I haven't driven it, I'm assuming. Let's go on and read a couple more. By the way, I read all your comments, so if you guys, whatever you put in comments on videos, I always read them, and I always thank you very much for commenting. So, but I just want to see what other people saying here on Car and Driver. Sub 6988 saying Toyota could give the Prius more power, though. They also have a 2.5 liter hybrid powertrain that probably could drop into the Prius and in the Camry spec with an all-wheel drive. Power is 232 and 225 with just front-wheel drive. 0 to 60 could drop from 7.1 to Prius to perhaps 6.1. Also, the Prius has a PHEV variant with a 220 horsepower. And he keeps saying 0.5 seconds 0 to 60. However, dropped the 2.5 PHEV hybrid with a 302 horsepower in the Prius for a true XSE variant. Man, he's going off, redesigning the whole Toyota lineup. I love it, using a lot of logic. Unfortunately, car manufacturers and logic, they don't seem to mesh that well, because we're enthusiasts. We like these things, but car manufacturers know that most of the sales are probably going to go to people who are just looking at financing and looking at do I get the heated steering wheel, as in option. It is what it is. We're car enthusiasts. We like engines. Most people, you tell them what engine you have in your car, and they might know, but don't really care. So anyways, I think you have to understand the Prelude is probably going to be sold for a lot of people are going to be really enticed by looking at the MPG, and they're going to be happy with that. And two-door is already sporty. How many people you know drive really competitive? Walk around and look at the cars on the road, and you're gonna see the front wheel. Look at their tires, and if you see the outside of the tires not even worn, I mean, these people never took a turn hard in their whole life. And which most 90% of the people, why would you take a turn really fast unless you go to the track? So when we're talking about performance and 0 to 60, what are you doing launching a Prius? Like, I'm not into launching cars anyway. I'm ranting here. So let's keep going. But thanks, sub 698 makes a great point. All right, here's for the last one from Cha1711. Isn't this a little premature? Given we know the Prelude is going to have a Type R suspension set up there, will be a massive difference in handling. I like handling. I think the only thing that's going to affect this handling is going to be the weight. That's it. And the Type R has an amazing engine. They're able to pull it out of the turn. I don't think this car is going to be the competitor to the Type R by any mean or shape. Let's look at the interior photos. The interior. Again, Honda interior, fantastic. I love Honda interior. Looking great, looking smooth. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, you're getting digital layout. Everything looks the way good. I mean, he kind of have a Prius thing going on with the power. Where's the power going? And a power reserve battery going to the motor. That's kind of fun to watch in traffic. I like Honda interior. It is what it is. I like Honda interior. That's the new transmission I talk about. See, the S Sport mode. Most people are just going to put into drive and call it a day. But you have the S Plus when you press it. And the introduction of the S Plus drive mode activated via the button that lets the direct the drive transmission fake gear change. Again, if that's your thing, hey man, I mean, if you're talking about feel, why don't you just get an old Prelude, get an old Prelude, restore it, and just drive it if you want to get feel. But, I'm probably going to cost you more than 40, more than the price of this car. But anyways, of course, this car comes with warranty. I'm just being silly. The 9.0-inch center touchscreen is standard and includes Google built-in apps along with wireless app CarPlay. It's nice. I mean, again, it's a nice cabin to be in. Look at the stitching, the bows. The seats look comfortable. I mean, I don't know, but they kind of look really comfortable. The front seats feature asymmetrical bolstering, meaning the driver's seat is more supportive, but the passenger is softer. Okay, I don't really care about my passenger now. I do. It's just interesting. Why would they do that? The Prelude would go on sale sometimes in 2025. It should have a price about mid 30,000. Probably gonna be more. Let's say 40. And there you go, the luggage space. It's not that roomy. It kind of looks like a Jaguar in the back, right? But anyways, the XJ, I think. But is it roomy in the back? Somewhat. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. You think this is it's a good? I don't think it's a bad car, but let me know what you think. Do you think Honda hit a home run with this? You think it's gonna sell a lot? Is it gonna have a cult following like the Type R, or do you think this thing that might make a Type S version at some point with a little bit more power? Who knows? But I'm just happy. I think it's a step in the right direction. The two-door, I'm glad to see a car that is two-door out there on the market, because we definitely don't have enough two-door cars on the market. So that's awesome. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. You think this car is something you want to purchase, you're interested in, or do you think Honda just missed completely the ball with this? Anyways, as always, take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.